Alright, Subnauts, welcome back to the channel. We're back in the world of Subnautica 2, and today, guys, we got a lot of news to go over. We are about 2 days from the early access launch of Subnautica 2. I know hearing that has a lot of people excited because we've been waiting for, some of us, over a decade to be able to finally jump back into Subnautica and continue the journey. But yeah, we are less than 2 days away from the launch of Subnautica 2 Early Access. We got a lot of news to go over. First, we're going to be talking about some milestones because Subnautica just reached a massive milestone that's going to benefit the player. We also got a massive change in Early Access. The devs actually respawned by giving players something they really wanted for quite a while, and this should be great for the lead up to the Early Access launch. And then, of course, we got a lot of information and news and possible leaks from Insider Gamer, which is a pretty trusted source on not only what to expect in the early access launch in 2 days, but also future roadmap plans. Again, we're going to be going over that. But before we do that though, if you want to stay up to date on all things Subnautica 2, make sure to drop a like as well as subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be keeping you guys up to date. I'm watching all the news like a hawk. I want to keep you guys informed. It helps support the channel and most importantly, it keeps you informed. My name is Fervor, guys, and let's dive into this awesome news. Alright, starting off with the most pressing news first, because this is going to be important for every player. We got this message from Danya at the community manager for Unknown Worlds. We've heard you all loud and clear. You said you want to preload Subnautica to dive into the game as soon as it launches on Thursday. From today, you can preload and pre-purchase the game on the 72 hours leading up to the early access here. You can also pre-purchase on Epic Games and Xbox. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to go over to the Steam store and you can go ahead and purchase Subnautica 2 for $29.99. And there, for those who are wondering, there is a bundle for Below Zero as well as the first Subnautica bundled with Subnautica 2 for 50% off. That'll be $40.47. If you've never played either of those games, you know, you can go ahead and pick up the whole bundle there. So for those who are wondering, you can go do that. And from what I've seen, because I haven't downloaded it yet, funny enough, someone said that they spent about 14 gigs to get the game. The official specs say you need 50. Someone told me that they use 14 to download it. Maybe they need to unpack it later and they'll get more. But yeah, you reserve about 50 gigs of space and you should be good to go. One thing I get a lot of for requirements is PC specs. So I'm going to go over that quickly here in this video before we move on. But on screen now, you should be able to see the specs. For recommended 3070, you're going to need a i7-13700, 16 gigs of memory. You'll get 1440p at medium with 60 FPS. This is about standard. I don't really use AMD, but this feels about standard for most games in this modern era, maybe slightly better than average, so it should be good. And for the Ultra Plus Plus, which I will be playing on, you need a RTX 5070 Ti with a i9-14900K. That's actually my exact spec, so on high we'll get 4K. Other than that, this is it. Keep in mind this is early access, so optimization may not be perfect, and I'm sure they're going to improve on it as time goes by. I think this is fine, but yeah, those are the specs for those who are wondering. Now, we did get some more information, and this is specific to the milestone because, as I said, the team has reached a massive milestone, so let's go over it. So from the official Unknown Worlds website, a thank you to our community for 5 million wishlisted. Hello, Subnauts. Ever since we announced Subnautica 2, the excitement, theories, and support from the entire community has been incredible to watch. As we get closer to early access, your enthusiasm has continued to blow us away every single day, and now, thanks to all of you, Subnautica 2 has officially reached 5 million wishlisted, which is an absolute insane thing to hear. That is such a monumental achievement. That's a massive milestone for the team, and we want to celebrate it with the community that made it possible. So we've decided to make a little adjustment. From the moment early access launches, every player across every platform will see the Reaper Leviathan statue blueprint, not just during the first week. We can't wait to see the bases you create on May the 14th. Don't forget to share screenshots of how you use your miniature menacing Reaper to decorate them. Thank you again for being part of the journey. Keep diving. So yeah, it looks like the team is going to be giving away the Reaper Leviathan blueprint. I'm going to assume you need to build the parts to build it. I actually never played Subnautica. I watched a streamer play it, so this is going to be like my actual first Subnautica if you're wondering. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get the blueprint. It's going to be pretty hype. I know the Reaper Leviathan, the reputation of it precedes it because I see a lot in my comment section. So yeah, super cool. All right, next and finally, let's talk about the early access roadmap and future content plans explained, because we had a article from Insider Gaming, which from my experience, Insider Gaming is pretty good about this stuff. They're not They're not always perfect, but they're pretty good. But basically, Subnautica Early Access has a roadmap that was allegedly leaked on information that was supposed to be coming. Now, according to what they're saying, and this is important to know, that the timeline for this content has probably changed significantly thanks to the delay, and many of these features might be in the game at launch or are known to have changed its mind on certain elements that remain to be seen. And we're going to be talking about what they expect to come initially, and then what's going to be in the future. So I will say, I've already looked at the list. A good portion of this is already in the game, so we already know that at the minimum, a lot of this was pretty good. But let's go over it. So 1 to 3 chapters of story content with 10 planned for the 1.0 launch. I'm not exactly sure if they confirmed this. 2 regions was in fact confirmed, so we know 2 regions will be there. For those who are not familiar with how the region system work, and I really want to point this out because this is important, you're going to have biomes and sub-biomes within those regions. So while it is 2 regions, there may be multiple biomes. So they're going with a massive region system, subdivided by biomes, subdivided by sub-biomes. So we can have like 5 biomes within those 2 regions. So keep that in mind. This is still supposed to be a pretty massive game. So there's going to be 7 main points of interest, 8 to 12 creatures. I'm not exactly sure what that means. But yeah, 8 to 12 creatures, maybe in addition to what we've seen before, but 8 to 12 creatures. 1 to 3 Leviathans. We can already say this one is a little outdated because the devs have already confirmed there will be 5 Leviathans at the early access launch. There'll be 4 characters, 14 to 20 plus tools and equipment. That one can easily be confirmed. We already went over a video or a short going over this stuff. I'll have it on the screen a little bit here, but yeah, there's a ton of tools and equipment. 2 types of vehicle. This was also confirmed, and they're going to have multiple like attachments on those vehicles. So we should have 2 vehicles, 2 adaptation systems, 2 submergibles, 5 biomods. We know biomods exist because once again, we've seen that in some of the footage for the game. So we know that exists. Mining and automation, which I'm hoping, farming system, survival mode, creative mode, single player and co-op mode. We can already confirm that. Cross progression. In the same interview, they talked about cross progression and cross saves and online account integrations. I'm not sure what that means. I'm assuming that means like cross saving, but yeah, we already can confirm that the vast majority of this stuff that we see here on this list has been added to the game. So I don't want to say this is a great list, but I would say it seems valid because majority of this has been there and or has been improved upon. So that looks good. Now, keep in mind, there are some suggestions coming and it has a high chance of being added to the game. Now, I want to be clear. The team has said this many times and many times over that they are really open to suggestions. I don't think that's like one of those things where a community just say that, like a community team say that just because, you know, it sounds good for people to hear, you know what I mean? I think Subnautica team actually genuinely does that kind of thing. So these are things you should expect to see, but of course take it with a grain of salt. A more advanced cooking system, proximity chat that extends to creature entities, enemy Leviathans in particular, which would be kind of insane when if you use proximity chat, things will hear you. That would be insane. Natural moon pools, healing items, use this time. We need another pet like the trivalve or the cuttlefish. Now, keep in mind the devs was asked this question. This is important to note. They said they've considered it and they've talked about it, but they didn't necessarily implement it. And they said it wouldn't be like a fish creature. They said they would make something closer to an actual robot because like we're kind of like in a ship and we're making like robotic stuff. It doesn't make sense for like a fish to follow, but it would be like a cute robot for those who are wondering about that. But they have considered that. Colorblind severity sliders. I'm actually colorblind, so that would be helpful. Procedural skin patterns on creatures. Plant. I don't know what that means. Leviathan aquarium. VR support. Give me a heart attack. Add fear factor in the game compared to Subnautica 1. Don't know what that means. Multiplayer games like mini games. Post in-game and creatures to react to weather event. That's actually kind of sick. Creature reacting to weather events would really be cool. Either way, those are some of the Nolt feedback additions. I will highly encourage you guys to go down into the Discord. I'll have it linked in the description. Go to the Discord and give some feedback to the devs if you want to see something added or upvote some things so that the team, add it. They are very receptive to information. I imagine most of this will be added to the game in the near future, but yeah, we'll only have to see as time goes by. With that in mind, that's pretty much all the news that I have for you today when it comes to anything Subnautica. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything I missed that was super big this week. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you excited for Subnautica 2 in less than 2 days at this point? Leave me some comments on it and I'll see if we can answer some of those in the next upcoming video, which will probably be tomorrow. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to show your support by subscribing. It costs you nothing and it helps me in a very big way. My name is Fervor. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Subnautica 2 video extremely soon.